Okay, we're going to check out this property here on Ray Street. It's a duplex and it's an up-down duplex, 2 bedroom, 1 bath in each unit. And one's currently rented and the other one is not. We're going to go and check out the one that is currently not being rented. So first, you have pretty good parking. You can park on the street right here, maybe across the way, but there's 2 spots right here and then a spot on the side, as well as a cool shed that you can also charge up for being rented as well. The siding looks pretty good. There's some chipping that's been going on here and here. Like it's gotten a lot of sun and hail damage. That's one thing to probably consider that might need to be replaced. Then going over here, we have a cool yard for a dog. If you want to do anything with that, the yard looks really good over here. Good tree coverage. And then upstairs is where we're going to go and check out where that unit is. And then there's entrances on this side and on the other side for the lower property. It's getting really windy over here. Probably going to rain here, which the clouds do move really quickly in Colorado Springs over the mountains. This is good that we have good gutter drainage right here. And this looks like the property line for next door. Kind of loops around, and there is separate electrical panels so that each tenant will pay their own electricity. But I believe that the water and the electric and gas, there isn't much gas. There's only one line for the water heater, and that's about it. But those are things that the owner pays, and then everything else, the electrical, is on the tenants. So let's go check out upstairs. All right, here we are at the top of this first unit. We're going to go in here and check out. But first, we're going to see this view that we have out here. Lots of cool trees in the yard. You can see the mountains a little bit over there, and around the corner there a little bit as well. Now inside here, the flooring is brand new. Looks really, really good. We do have popcorn ceiling up here, but it's not anything to be concerned about. And I probably wouldn't scrape it off because it'll just cost you way too much money and it won't really change the value of the property or how much it would cost someone renting it either. Now, one thing to take note is that over here in the living room and in each of the bedrooms, and on the side, there's one more over here, it is just baseboard heating, so there's no furnace in here. There is a water heater, but no furnace. So if you wanted to add AC, you would have to do a mini split system for the living room and the 2 bedrooms and for the unit down below as well. It's just 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. And now we're going to check out this kitchen area. It's just like a little galley kitchen. Electrical panel is right behind me right here. But just a little stove, refrigerator, sink. There is a dishwasher over there, but there is no microwave, so you'd probably have to put it in the corner right there or just have it like a separate cart or something. And we do have a baseboard heating system right there as well. All right, now we're going to go into the bedroom areas. Here's one. This one's a little bit bigger than the one next door that we're going to check out. This would probably be the primary suite, and the carpet is okay. Over here, it seems like there's a lot of traffic area right here, but I think it'll be fine. Maybe just give it a good clean, and it'll be good to go. And then the other unit or bedroom, this one's smaller. You can still put probably a full, maybe a queen in here, but it'd take up most of the room in this area. Now, the whole idea behind this property is that you would ideally live up here and then rent out the lower level, which is currently being rented out. And it's 2 bedroom, 1 bath in that unit as well. Oh, here's the bathroom. Nice flooring in here. Vanity looks good. Here's the shower and the tub. Looks pretty move-in ready. You can see out there. Nice views. But the whole idea would be you live up here, rent out downstairs, and maybe get a roommate in order to have lower rent for when you live in the property, and then eventually once you move out, then you can rent it out as well. Now, we're going to go check out the numbers and see what this would look like if you bought it right now in 2024 this summer. Interest rates are a little bit higher, so it's going to make the numbers really tricky to make sense when doing it as a long-term rental downstairs. But you could possibly do it as a furnished rental or a short-term rental. We're going to weigh those options and why one might be better than the other. Let's go. Real quick, before we go, we're going to check out the deck area as well. Nice little walkout right here, and you can see where all the parking is. Mountain view right there. And little dog. Now we're going to run the numbers on what it would look like as a long-term, furnished, and short-term. And whenever I say furnished, I always mean like mid-term rentals. So first things first, pull up bigger pockets. This is what I use most often for running a lot of analysis on my deals. It works best for any type of long-term rental and furnished rental on occasion, but definitely for long-term rental. Short-term rental, it's a little bit tricky because we look at short-term rentals over the course of an annual basis, not so much as a monthly basis because they're so seasonal. And here in Colorado Springs, the summertime is the best for those short-term rentals. Now, pull up bigger pockets. We got our address in here. Purchase price is at $458,000. For the closing costs, I always estimate about 1.5% of that purchase price, and that gives us around $6,500. We're not going to do any rehab to the property. We're going to do it at 5% down at a 6.5% interest rate is what we're seeing right now in August, since rates just dipped down a little bit. For rental income, I was playing with several different options here. For a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, typically on average, I see them going for $1,500 here in Colorado Springs. And to show you how I would look up for those rent prices, pull up Zillow. I go for items that would be for rent. Go to the area of where it's located at. I sort it by 2-bedroom, 1-bath or more. Hit apply. You can do a home type as well, but the reason I look at this is because it helps out with seeing what your competition is going to be like on market. Because if you wanted to list this really high at like 17, 1800, it might be sitting on the market a lot longer, like this one may be. Let's see if we can say how many days it's been on. 24 days is how long it's been, which is right on average, I would say, so far. And then we have some, 1500s over here, been on for 114 days, 1500 over here, 20 days, so 1600, and it's been on for 14 hours. So maybe that 1600, 1500 is going to be the sweet spot for what we're looking for. But that just gives you an idea of how to use Zillow to see what your competition would be going for in the area. So 1500, and we're going to say you are not getting any type of a roommate at the start. You're just living in it yourself or with the spouse. For property taxes, this is the monthly number, but the annual number is $1,254 that we put in there. And then the insurance is what we're going to look at next. I always estimate around $275 a month for duplexes. That's what it has slowly been increasing from around $250, $240 is what it used to be a couple years ago for having insurance coverage. Now remember, this is going to be not putting any type of maintenance, repairs, vacancy, or capital expenditures. At first, we're just going to analyze it and see, okay, do we have enough room to be putting in that? How tight are the numbers going to be looking, just for analyzing purposes. Electricity is going to be paid by the tenants, so we're not going to do this for the other side, but we're going to do it for us. We'll say it's $50 on our side that we have to pay. $100 for gas, $100 for water and sewer. And because you're including the utilities, you could probably increase this number. We're going to go to $1,600 and say it includes all utilities. You just pay electric is what it's going to be. And next up, we are going to do garbage. 65, I think, is a good estimate. There's many places in Springs that you can be looking at for Carefree, SoCo, GFL. There's a bunch of them. Those are kind of the big three that I see. Carefree and SoCo is what I like the best. So PMI, we're going to get this number based off of the mortgage amount, which I believe is $440 like 30,000, and you're going to times that by 0.0078 to give you the annual number. Divide that by 12, that gives us $283 every single month that you're paying in PMI. If you are closer to 20% down, that's going to be a lower number, and if you're closer to zero, that's going to be a higher number. But VA, they do not have any type of primary mortgage insurance, only anything that's less than 20% that's conventional. So first we're going to do it just as a long-term rental. We're not going to have any cleaning, any supplies, and let's run our numbers. Negative 2,000 every single month to live here. Ideally, you want to get this under $1,500-1,600 since that's what it's going to cost you to live in the property if you were to rent. So let's see how we can do that. We could say make a lower offer at $420. $1,845. It's okay. If maybe we do a 1-point buy down of 1% of the loan amount to 5.5, $1,589. That could make some sense, especially if you got a roommate on top of that. So let's say you also got a roommate, and we're gonna put this at $750. We're gonna charge them to be a roommate and share a bedroom with you. $1,327. That's not too bad. But that's also before we ran our numbers at $425, we'll say, and we're gonna buy this down 1 point to 5.5. $866, which is definitely more manageable and probably would be the best thing to do if you were to try and house hack this property. But then let's look at it when you were to move out of the property and then you would renting out full time. Let's say it's $1,600 for both, and you're not going to be paying for any electricity now. It's just going to be gas and water. Going to push that onto the tenants, and let's analyze. Negative $427. So it doesn't make sense to do it as a long-term rental when you move out in 1 year. So it may have to be a longer time, maybe 2-3 years that you do live in the property in order to get that cash flow. And remember, this is with 0 reserves, so it probably is not looking like this one's going to be a good deal unless you get it for way lower at like a $400 purchase price is what this may need to be. Let's see, 420 at 5.5. That cash flow is $65 a month with no reserves. We're going to want to get that up to like $300, $400 in order to have enough money for reserves. So let's say we get it all the way down to 400 and we're at 5.5. Even that is still really tight. So long-term rentals typically do not work right now with the current interest rate market that we're seeing. So now let's say that we're basically going to have to buy this at 420,000 or lower. And 5% down. And let's say the first one we do it as a furnished rental. So you could probably get $1,850 for that. And say you still rent out to a roommate at $750. Now that other side is not going to be paying for electricity since it's going to be a midterm rental, so you're going to have to pay for their electrical, water, and gas. This might be at 100. And then for software, you're probably going to have to get it up on Furnish Finder and other places, Facebook Marketplace, Airbnb for a monthly furnished stay. Cleaning, you could do it yourself, or you could have someone do it. And let's say it's once a month, and it only costs like $350 per clean. Is what we'll put it at. And supplies, we'll put that at $25. Run these numbers. $1,373, not too great as a furnished rental. Let's try it now. You say we do a 1-point buy down, 5.5. Nah, still not great. You're gonna have to buy it at 400 or less. That's what it looks like. So not too great. Look, analyzing it that way. Might need to be a duplex so we can have more bedrooms in it, so that when you are living in it, you can get more bedroom income. That will make sense that way. Or for a couple, $1,100 to stay there isn't too bad. Next, we're going to do it as a short-term rental. And for short-term rental, we look at annual data for how much revenue it's going to be bringing in, not so much monthly. So doing it as using this as your calculator is a little bit trickier. So we're going to do, on average, I see 2-bedroom, 1-baths going for $25,000 every single year, and that comes out to on average of being about $2,100 per month. And let's say you do have a roommate, $750. We have taxes, insurance, no reserves right now. We're just kind of seeing how the numbers are looking out at, and all of that looks good. PMI, so software, what we're going to use for stuff. Cleans are going to be happening a lot more often, so either you're going to have to do it yourself to save a ton of money, or you're going to have to pay, for the cleans to happen. It'll probably end up being around, on average, maybe $700, we'll say, since so you have 5 to 6 guests each month. Each one will be maybe like 200 plus, I'm going to say longer, plus busy time versus winter. Maybe 800 would be a better estimate. And supplies, 25. Gives that 1573. Not the best, but we do our buy down, 5.5. And let's run it at 400. That would be with having a roommate as well, paying $1,209 a month is what you would be doing. So I don't love it for being a furnished rental for a short term. Long term probably makes the most sense, and just living in the property for longer terms, because your exit strategy will work out better to make them both long-term rentals. So that's probably what the most important thing is to look at what your exit strategy is going to be and then analyze it that way for when you do move out of the property, because it'll probably be okay while you live in it, but it's when you move out is when you're going to have the most struggles, because this property is not eligible to be a short-term rental upon moving out. So you're going to have to figure out another way to make it work, which is probably going to be a long-term or monthly stays furnished in order to make the numbers make sense. Stay tuned for more videos. We're going to analyze some more stuff in Colorado Springs, what makes sense, what doesn't. If you have any questions and want to find a property here in Colorado Springs, let me know.